All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Mark here again. Make Your Mark Sports Channel /podcast. We're back at it again. So today's topic is who are the top 10 regular season MVP seasons that we've seen from the year 2000 up until this point now. I'm going to give you my personal top 10, and you guys tell me what you think. So coming in at number 10, I have Russell Westbrook for the 2017 season. Based off the fact that he did something historically great, something we had not seen in over 50 plus years by averaging a triple-double. And not only that, this year he did lead the league in scoring. He was number 2 in assists. And he led his team to the 6th seed in their conference. They won 47 games that year, the OKC Thunder. Just due to the fact that they weren't higher in the standings, I can't really rank them any higher than this. But I think it is relevant to bring up the fact that OKC was not the most talented team from top to bottom that year. And he still was able to carry them to a relatively higher record than maybe some people expected that year. And like I said, based off the fact that he did something historically great that we had not seen in a while, that I thought I was never going to see in my lifetime, then, I have to include him in this list somewhere. So I'm going to put him here at number 10. At number 9, I have Nikola Jokic for last season, this past season, the 2022 season. What he did this year at the center position was also historically great. He damn near averaged a triple-double. He was 2 assists shy. He was top 10 in scoring this year, top 10 in assists at center, and also was number 2 in rebounds as well. And he led the Nuggets to 48 wins without the help of his second best player, Jamal Murray, who was injured the entire season. They finished as the 6th seed in their conference. And the reason I'm going to give him the slight nod over Westbrook, like I said, he almost averaged a triple-double himself, but his efficiency numbers were through the roof, man. This man averaged a shooting percentage of over 58%, which is just incredible. And I know, of course, he's a center, so when you compare his shooting percentage to Russell Westbrook, it's kind of uneven because you would think, okay, well, his shots are coming closer to the basket, but Nikola Jokic shot 4 threes a game this year, and he also has a great mid-range game as well, so it's not like he's just dominating right at the paint. So I had to factor that in as well. So I'm going to give him the number 9 spot, give him the slight nod over Westbrook. All right, so coming in at number 8, I'm going to do James Harden for the 2018 season. James Harden that season led the Rockets to 65 wins, the number 1 record, not only in their conference, but in the league as well, which surprised a lot of people. I don't think anybody before that season was saying that the Rockets would finish with the best record in the league, but they did. Of course, they had the addition of Chris Paul that year. But James Harden, what he did that year was amazing. The man led the league in scoring, averaging over 30 a game. Also was number 3 in assists. So just based off how impactful he was on offense that year and how that led to his team finishing with the best record in the league, I got to give him his credit. And I think he definitely deserves to be included in my top 10 list for sure from year 2000 until now, based off his impact and the results that his team got. So he's coming in at number 8. All right, so coming in at number 7, I got Kevin Durant for the 2014 season. This is the year that he led the OKC Thunder to 59 wins, and he did that without the services of Russell Westbrook for 35 games as well. They still finished with the second best record in their conference and in the league in total. And I'm going to give him just a slight nod over Harden's season, just based off the fact that he also led the league in scoring this year as well. He was much more efficient, shooting 50% overall, and he flirted with a 50-40-90 season again. And, of course, he was not the playmaker that Harden was, but he was very good in that area for him. And he also contributed on the rebounding and was more impactful on defense. So I'm going to give him just a slight nod over James Harden's season in 2018. KD had an all-time great season. And like I said, he was carrying the team for a good portion of the season without Westbrook. So I'm going to give him just a slight nod over Harden and put him in number 7. All right, so coming in at the number 6 spot, it might be surprising to some people. I think a lot of people forget about this season when we're talking about all-time great MVP seasons, but I got to put in Kevin Garnett at the number 6 spot for the 2004 season. This season, he led the Minnesota Timberwolves to 58 wins, which was the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, and also the number 2 seed, or the second best record overall in the league that year. And what he did for his team this year, he led his team in points, rebounds, steals, and blocks. He led the league in rebounds. He was second in the league in points. Now, of course, He averaged 24 points per game this year, so that might seem a little low compared to some of the other players I mentioned thus far. But the overall points per game average for teams across the league that year were the lowest it had been since 2000 up until now. It was very low scoring that year, so that's why his overall points per game average was a bit lower. But it was still second in the league. And why I have him this high is not only did he make the All-NBA first team, just like all the other players on this list thus far, but he also made the All-Defensive first team. So he was bringing it on both ends. So I had to factor in the two-way aspect of his game, and that's why I have him so high. So I'm going to put him here at number 6. All right, so we're going to move on to number 5 now. Now we're entering in the top 5. Now this is where it gets pretty dicey, and it might start to get controversial, but here we go. So I got LeBron James at number 5. LeBron James for the 2010 season. His last season in Cleveland, the first go-around before he left to go to Miami. So in this season, LeBron, he finished number 2 in scoring. He was top 10 in assists this year. Led the Cavaliers to the best record in the East, also the best record in the league overall. And I got to start factoring in defense the higher I move on my list. So just like I said about Kevin Garnett, LeBron James, of course, we know what he brought to the table offensively, but he also made the all-defensive first team as well this season. So that has to be factored in. So I'm going to put him at the number 5 slot. All right, so coming in at number 4 on my list, I got Steph Curry for the 2016 season. And I already know people that watch this video off top, they're going to say that's too low. And I understand why, and I'm not mad at that. Like I said, I'm just giving my perspective. But I got Steph at number 4 on my list. Of course, they broke the record for most wins in the season. They won 73 games, so I do factor that in. If we were just strictly basing this off of offense, then yes, this season that Steph Curry had is historically great in regards to his impact on offense. I mean, the man, not only did he lead the league in scoring, averaging over 30, he also was the first player to average that many points while shooting 50, 40, 90. And you got to think about how many threes this dude has taken. And the man shattered his own record for most threes made. He made 402 threes that year. Before that, nobody even made over 300. So I do understand what he brings to the table offensively. Once again, he is this high because of how great he is offensively. But once again, I have to factor in the defense as well. And of course, it's not that Steph Curry is lackluster on D. He does give great effort. But at the same time, that is why I cannot move him any higher on this list. And you guys will understand why after I name my top 3 players on the list as well. But like I said, if we're just focusing on offense, then yes. And of course, the team results that he got, that does matter. But at the same time, it is an overall team game. And that's not to take away from Steph, but he was not the anchor of that team on defense. So I have to, factor in both sides of the ball. And like I said, it gets dicey when it comes down to these last couple players. But I'm going to keep him at number 4 for right now. All right, so coming in at number 3, I got Shaquille O'Neal for the 2000 season. And this was really the year of Shaq. Not only did he win the regular season MVP, he won the All-Star Game MVP, and he won the Finals MVP. If we were talking about most complete seasons from start to finish, man, Shaq would be, I don't know, he'd be arguably one of the best seasons all time in NBA history, man, for what he did this year. But we're just focusing on the regular season. And for me, that's enough to put him in the top 3 for sure. Not only offensively was his numbers through the roof, he led the league in scoring that year, averaging nearly 30. He was second in rebounds, also in the top 3 in block shots. So once again, he's bringing it on both ends. He made the all-defensive second team that year, and he led the Lakers to a 67-15 record. So the impact he had on both ends and how that resulted in his team winning that many games, I got Shaq at number 3. Some people may even have him higher. It's close. But for me right now, I'm going to keep him at the number 3 slot. All right, so coming in at number 2, the player that draws the most comparisons to Shaquille O'Neal, that being Giannis Antetokounmpo. But I'm going to give him just a slight edge over Shaq for the season he had in 2020. The numbers were very close. Giannis averaged nearly 30 points per game, which was 3rd in the league in scoring that year. He was 2nd in rebounds. But the reason I got to give Giannis the slight edge over Shaq is because not only did he win the MVP award this year, but he also won the Defensive Player of the Year, and he was the third player in NBA history to do that. The other two being Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon. Now, I will say that the next player on my list, I feel like he deserved to win that award as well, but we'll get to that in a second. But Giannis, offensively, put up Shaq-like numbers. Defensively, as I stated, won the Defensive Player of the Year award that year. Led his team to the best record in the league. He's number 2 on my list. All right, so finally, coming in at number 1 on my list, I got LeBron James in 2013, who led the Heat to 66 wins that year, the number 1 record in the league. Also, that season, the Heat went on a win streak, a 27-game win streak that year during the season, which is second all-time in NBA history, led by LeBron James, who was top 5 in scoring this year, right outside the top 10 in assists. I think he was number 11, if I'm not mistaken. Also put up his normal, solid rebounding numbers. Shot a career high from the field, 56% overall. Also shot a career high from 3, shooting 40% overall. And in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, he should have been the Defensive Player of the Year this season. They gave it to Marc Gasol. When the coaches voted for the All-NBA defensive teams, Marc Gasol was on the second team. LeBron James actually made the first team. So when the media voted, they voted Marc Gasol and they voted LeBron James second. In my opinion, and a lot of other people feel the same way, LeBron did get robbed that year. So to me, I feel like he really did deserve to be another player on that short list of players that won both the MVP and Defensive Player of the Year awards in the same season. It is what it is. In my opinion, I still got LeBron James number 1 overall. And you guys tell me what you think about my list, man. That's my own personal top 10 list of MVP seasons from 2000 until now. So you guys leave your comments. Tell me if you agree or disagree. If you would rearrange the order, if there's some players you would take out, and if that's the case, who would you put in their place? So just let me know. Leave some comments. And for those who are watching my video for the first time or checking out my channel for the first time, if you like it, man, hit the subscribe button because there's more to come. Make Your Mark Sports Channel /Sports Podcast. We go live on Instagram throughout the week. We cover various NBA topics and just different sports topics in general. So yeah, make sure you check me out on Instagram. I'm gonna put my Instagram name in my bio in my description for the video. So once again, I thank everybody that's been supporting my channel. Everybody have a blessed day. All praise be to the Most High.